You ready? Here we go. Good morning, everyone. Well, what a day. On today's show, everyone, it is election day here in the United States, and of course, it is all anyone's talking about. I'll cover it a little bit, but as you know, I'm not a political guy, and it's certainly not going to be the end-all, be-all of my content today. Instead, we're going to have a full, fun day of gameplay. But on today's podcast, we'll be covering several different topics, including a detractor, who I talked about a couple months ago, has pulled a massive scam on all the other detractors. Pretty interesting. In addition, the PS5 Pro games list has been announced, meaning the games that will actually have concrete enhancements on the PS5 Pro. So let's talk about that. In addition, we may touch upon some other topics. I'm also trying to mess with my mic again, and we'll see how that works. So we've got a good show today in store on the special Election Day edition of the Level 1 podcast. People are saying there was no music. Why would there not have been music? Hold on. Is it playing now? What happened? Did it not sync? Okay, hold on. I have no idea what happened. People are saying the music turned on late. Let's try that again. Ready?
Get ready for some meaningful content, because the king is back. The king of the live stream. The king is back. Woo!
All right. Sorry about that. I have absolutely no idea what's going on. As you guys know, I've had some technical difficulties recently because I've been messing around with various different things. I've been trying to get my microphone to sound better. So I messed with not only, the noise suppression filter and things like that, and the noise gate, but I also added a new compressor, whatever it's called. And so the mic has been sounding a little different. Some people like it, some people don't. I'd like to get your opinion on it today. And of course, what we're going to do is listen to a couple clips. And maybe as we're listening to the clips, why is Life is Strange in this? Why is Life is Strange in this layout? It's not. I'm not even kidding you. It's not. It must be a glitch because it's not in there. But it's playing Life is Strange. What is going on today? Already, we got weird stuff happening here. I'm just going to delete this one then. Okay, hopefully that fixes it. We don't have Life is Strange in my animations today. So, I don't know what's going on. The last few days, right? I've had lots of technical issues. My lighting behind me is now having issues where sometimes it's desyncing. And I don't know if it's the phone that's desyncing or the lights, but it just goes off and then comes back on, and then the app says it's not connected. It worked for 2 months, so I didn't change anything. So you tell me what happened. It's not me. This frame does have technical issues from time to time where it'll have a glitch with a certain animation or it won't load properly. Looks like it's working now. Hopefully we don't have any more. If Life is Strange is in there, that is pretty weird. Because I definitely didn't put Life is Strange into a patriotic backdrop for today's election day. Anyway, hope that you guys are ready to chill and have a good podcast with me here today. Today is November 5th, 2024, also known as Election Day here in the United States, also known as Super Tuesday. The reason is because today is the last moment for people to vote in both their local and federal elections. So everyone who hasn't voted yet is running out to vote today. And so everyone's going to be talking about it all day long. In fact, excuse me. In fact, a ridiculous amount of content creators are doing special election day streams, videos, and content today. I am literally the only person not doing this, right? Take a look at YouTube, take a look at Twitch, take a look at Kick, take a look at everywhere. Everyone is doing election day stuff. I'm not. And the reason I'm not is because, as you guys know, I'm not a political guy. I don't make political content. I have no intention of doing that kind of stuff in the near future. You know, we've talked about over the years, perhaps I will eventually get into doing that. And if I do, it's not going to be here. This is DSPGaming. This is not DSP politics. This is not a place for me to stand on a soapbox and lecture you about, that kind of stuff. Someday I might get into it. In fact, I'm going to be honest with you. I think eventually I will get into it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I do feel like I'm going to one day want to talk about it, but particularly with this election today and how it's going to affect this country and the world, I definitely didn't want to get into it now. I feel like today's election is going to be insane, meaning you're going to have people who are so adamant on getting their way that if it doesn't go their way, it's going to be a scary thought of how they're going to behave. Now, here's the thing. If you don't know, the American election this year for the president is neck and neck. It is so close that most places are saying that normally would know, oh, I polled and it seems like this person's in the lead or this person's in the lead. They're basically saying it's too close to call. Like, you'll have one person who says, okay, it's going to be for Trump. And then right immediately someone else does a poll and says, oh, no, this poll says it's going to be Kamala. And it's just back and forth and back and forth. So, and everyone, of course, on either side of the mainstream media is reporting their own pick is the one that's going to win. So no one knows what's going to happen. And my prediction, this is my honest, quick prediction, is that we won't even know who is the new president for days. Because you're going to have places where it's so close, they're going to have to be doing recounts. Already voting machines have broken down, and the people are going to say, no, every vote is super important. We must count them all. So therefore, everything must be delayed until we have our answers, right? So I definitely have that feeling that this is just going to be, as they say, a shit show, right? And it's going to be chaotic. And then once we finally have an answer of who won, no one will accept it. Everyone's going to be angry at each other, and everyone's going to be yelling at each other and pointing fingers and saying fraud, cheat. It's going to be a nightmare, really. And it's sad that that's the state of our country. Our country is supposed to have a system in place that's supposed to be definitive, that's supposed to be not able to be argued or overturned, a system that's supposed to give us the answers, and everyone has a voice. And I don't really feel like that's our system. I feel like our system is pretty messed up with the way that it operates. Anyway, although that's going to be happening today, and you're going to hear about it in every news outlet possible, and you're going to hear about it in other people's content and streams, that's not what I'm doing today. Okay? Today for me, even though I have silly patriotic stuff on the screen, I even have, and my RGBs today, for my gaming PC, I have red, white, and blue lights in honor of the election. But that's about the extent of me making content about this today. Now, I will be appearing very briefly on the Kino Casino show later tonight. I'm going to talk about that in a second, because they asked me on for just like a brief cameo appearance. I said, sure, I'll do it. I'm a friend of the show. I'll come by and I'll just hang out for a little bit and talk about what's going on. I'm totally okay with that. So, yeah. So anyway, I'm going to be doing gameplay all day. And I hope that you appreciate that. I hope that you like that. That's what people come here for, not to hear me sit here and lecture about politics and candidates and things like that. I'm pretty much an escape from all of that, correct? Like, that's what people tell me. You know, we want to escape from the drama of the real world. We don't want to come to DSP Gaming to then hear about the things that's all over everywhere else, right? So I will hopefully provide that for you today, and you will be able to hang out with me and have a good time all day long on DSP Gaming on YouTube and on DSP Gaming Real on Kick, okay? And so, first things first, we have hit 51 straight streams, hitting my boy, I can't even speak today, hitting my funding goals, and of course, seething, crying, teeth gnashing trolls are very upset, as usual. They track every contribution. They're angry at every single dollar and cent that I receive for my content. So thank you for allowing me the ongoing success. Remember, at the end of this week, the big reward on Friday will be that if we hit 56 straight streams of the goals being hit, I will be ordering food from a new local Japanese restaurant. Excuse me, I got gunk in my throat today. A new local Japanese restaurant that does authentic Japanese cuisine like yakisoba skewers, unique rice dishes, desserts, and the like. So it's going to be a fun event for DSP Tries It this Friday. All right, so let's keep it going. Please support the stream today. Everything counts, and everything gets an animation. Whether it's a super chat or a super sticker, a membership or a gifted membership, a sub or a gifted sub, or a tip. No matter how you contribute, it all helps, and I appreciate everyone who supports my content. Let's get started with some shout outs. First, Darkside Matthew with a double dose of super chats on the YouTube side. His first one is a $2, and he says, "Praise the king." Then he did a second one and said, "We come here for chill gaming vibes, not drama." Exactly. And I know that. You're coming here because you want to hang out with me. You want to have a good laugh on the podcast. You want to hear about what's going on with gaming. I'm excited to share with you the PS5 Pro games list. And then you want to maybe hear me joke about my trolls and stuff a little bit, right? And you don't want to be getting into all the nonsense of politics and the like. I get it. And I'm not going to inundate you with that. Everyone else will today, but not me, okay? So thank you, Darkside Matthew, for the first 2 contributions of the day. Let's see here. I received a $1 tip. Someone says, "Would you consider an appearance on Hawk Tua Girls podcast Talk Tua if the opportunity extends itself? There's an overlap in your fan bases. People want to see it. It'd be a great way to solidify the magnitude of your redemption arc. Thanks." What in the holy hell? Why would they want me on their show? Where is the crossover there? I'm not aware of a single bit of crossover between those viewer bases, right? I mean, this is the girl who did the memeable thing and got popular on the internet for it and now has like a podcast that's successful, right? So good for her. But I don't know how that crosses over with me. I never even talked about the meme, did I? I don't think so. So, I mean, if you could explain to me what you're talking about, but from what I'm seeing, I don't see that it would, have any kind of effect on me, or why. They wouldn't even know who I am. So why the hell would they care, right? That's a little bizarre. Okay. Excuse me. So I got a $1.50 anonymous tip, and this person is a troll in disguise trying to cause drama. So FYI, for those who don't know, there is 1 episode left of DSP versus the internet over on my React channel, DSP Reacts, and then that show will be retired at episode 90. We're then going to take a break from doing React shows on that channel for about a month or so, because what I want to do is, number one, focus a lot on gameplay over here. We're going to have a lot going on in regards to the stuff I'm covering. We're trying to decide right now what games to even cover. Like, I literally don't even know what I'm doing tomorrow. I think I have a good idea, but we're not even sure yet, right? So we've got so much going on, you know what I mean, that I'm not really thinking that doing this weekly entire day of reacting is working. Last night we finished Retro React Silent Hill 1, and I put a poll up on DSP Throwback, okay? And people are voting on what they want to see for the next Retro React stream, which will probably take place sometime in December. I'm giving that a break. And so I'm giving the reacting stuff a big break so we can focus on everything here. all right? But there's going to be a long-form react show that likely will launch sometime in December. Now, there are many different ideas of how to run the show. OP Boone has given me some really good ones. This morning, I got some more feedback from a few others, and I want to basically sit down one day, and I don't know if it's going to be a podcast or maybe we'll even dedicate a late night stream to this topic. I want to sit and brainstorm exactly how to make the long form show work. I want it to be as much your input as mine, not just me coming up with the idea and running with it, but working with you to refine the idea so that people will actually show up, engage, and support with it. That's the number one problem right now with this ongoing Clips React show, is that the overall attendance, engagement, and support of the show has dwindled dramatically. Originally, when I started the show 2 years ago, there was big interest. Now there's like 20 people who actually submit clips, if that, and less than 200 who watch. So there's no point in continuing. I want to do something people want, right? And that's why we're kind of rebooting, reassessing, and we're going to do a more long-form show. So we will have discussion about this very soon. Again, whether it's a full podcast dedicated to this discussion, whether I do just a special late night chill stream where we just sit around and talk and brainstorm about it, we'll figure it out together. But I just want to let everyone know that's what's going on. Of course, my trolls are trying to twist it that, oh, my reacting is over and everything, and it's just very much not the case, okay? The React channel will still have the DSP Tries It episodes that we're doing every Friday as a reward for hitting my support goals. So there's still going to be some content on the channel, and there is more coming, okay? Mark, how are you? And thank you for your membership this morning. It's good to see you, Mark. Thanks for re-upping. And actually, that counts as a fresh one. So thank you, Mark. That counts as $3. Come on up here, buddy. Jasper Kitty's in the office today. Feeling nice and spunky today. He was chasing around a little twisty toy in the kitchen. Very energetic, jumping all over the place, running around. Always good to see Jasper Kitty in the office and hanging out. Right, buddy? How are you doing today, Jasper Kitty? Jasper Kitty, how are you? Tell everyone how you're feeling. Or touch my keyboard. Maybe he wants to type a message out for us. Anyway, okay. So here's what I'd like to do, guys. Briefly, I want to cover the schedule for today, tomorrow, and Friday. And then I want to talk about some interesting topics today. So let's talk. So today's schedule is as follows. We've got the podcast, which will run for about another hour here. By the way, I would absolutely appreciate if you could support the stream today so we can hit the goal. All right? When we hit the goal, it locks in our ability to do this special event on Friday. Once we get to 56, that will be Friday's first stream, because I've got 2 streams today, 2 streams tomorrow, and 2 on Friday, but we're going to only do it until the first stream on Friday, and then we qualify for the special celebratory event, okay? So thank you for that. Let's get some support going, whether it be, you know, some subs over on Kick, or maybe a membership here on YouTube, or maybe some super chats, or a tip would all be appreciated. Thank you, guys. So, today, gameplay all day. First stream after we finish the show, it's Call of Duty Black Ops 6 multiplayer. Now, I'm excited because we have gone back to assault rifles, and I started using the Goblin, which is a semi-auto, which means it's basically single shot. It's very good, but I needed to unlock attachments. I finally did. I got a little scope for it now, and now I'm kicking ass with it. So today I'm going to start with that. We're going to see, hey, what are the daily challenges that we have to do? Right, buddy? Do you know what the daily challenges are today, Jasper? Jasper Kitty, do you know? Do you? I guess he doesn't know. He didn't look. He didn't look it up. So yeah, so we're going to do daily challenges like usual. Probably, you know, jumping around with different equipment, play with this assault rifle for a bit, and then move on and see what else we want to do. I'm not sure what else we want to do today. Jade says the AK soon. We use the AK quite a bit, Jade. We're using the Goblin now. I do want to, you know, unlock new guns and different guns. Shout out to PS3 Troop becoming a member this morning. Now, is that a fresh one? Indeed it is. Thank you, PS3 Troop, with that one. That gets us another $3 in support, so we're up to 12 now and climbing. Thank you all, everybody. Excellent. So that's today's first stream, Call of Duty action. Then tonight on the late stream, sharply at 7 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, it's Life is Strange Double Exposure. And I'm going to be doing about 2 hours of advancement in the game tonight, and it's got to be 7 p.m. sharp. And you might say, wait, what are you talking about? Well, here's the deal. tonight, after my late stream ends, I'm actually going to jump on Kino Casino and do like a 20-minute or so guest appearance. What they're doing is they're basically having people who are friends of the show come on tonight to talk about their political experience, you know, what's going on with the election, maybe give some predictions on what they think is going to happen, etc. And they'd like me to do that. And I said, I would do it. Sure, why not? I'll jump on and we'll talk a little bit about the election and all of that. And, you know, just for a few, I told them, you know, I can't stay, you know, a long time, but I could maybe just drop in to say hello and talk a little bit about it. And that's it. So I am going to do that, but I need to basically have time. So I can't be running late on my stream. You know, if you remember, my late streams used to end at like 9:15 p.m. Now they just run late all the time. But I need to end sharply around 9:15 tonight, so then I can get my camera working with this PC, so I could jump on Discord and I can get on there with those guys for a bit. All right. So I'll be on there very briefly for that tonight. Now tomorrow, here's what I think I want to do. People are saying that Life is Strange Double Exposure is about 8 hours long, okay? Longer than that if you take time to interact with the audience and the like, which I am doing. So if I've played it 3 hours already and 2 hours tonight, I'll be around 4 or 5 hours in. I'm thinking, let's do it tomorrow. Let's do a major stream of it tomorrow and get as far as we can. And then if we need one more late night stream to wrap it up, we could do it, okay? That's what I'm thinking. So let's do it as the major stream tomorrow and get really far into it. Okay, then tomorrow night, we'll do more Call of Duty Black Ops 6. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. I would prefer to just focus on the multiplayer. But you guys seem to be demanding the campaign again, which I hate. I was playing it, and I was literally falling asleep playing it. So I think I'm going to do more multiplayer. But if we do want to do the campaign, I think I have to do it as a day stream. Seriously, like, I need to, like, I don't know. Like, I was so bored with it, I was falling asleep. So I'm thinking do it as a day stream, and maybe I won't fall asleep. I don't know. I'm serious. It doesn't interest me. The campaign is so fucking boring. When I was playing it, I was like, dude, I just want to play the multiplayer more. I'm craving the multiplayer, and it sucks that I'm stuck playing the shitty campaign. But anyway, that's what we'll do tomorrow. It'll be Life is Strange on the day stream and Call of Duty on the night stream, likely multiplayer, because that's what I like most, okay? So there you have it. Now, by the way, shout out to Boba Jet X. Just became a member on YouTube. Thank you for the membership. That's another $3 of support. Boba Jet. Thank you, thank you. Okay. So, Thursday I am off. This is the beginning of me. What I told you guys was going to happen is that in November, I'm going to be taking a little bit more time off. And you might be saying, well, what do you mean? Well, some weeks I'm going to have 2 days off instead of 1. Some weeks I might just have like a day stream off, because I'm basically taking time to do stuff that I should have been doing for ages. Like this week, I've got a bunch of appointments and stuff I need to do with my wife on Thursday, and then we're going to spend the rest of the day out, and then Saturday will be my errands day where I'm doing things like going to the garbage dump and freaking, you know, grocery shopping and stuff like that. I just need more time off, okay? So this week, it's 2 days off, Thursday and Saturday. So Thursday, I'm off from streaming. When I return on Friday, the day stream could be several different things depending on what you guys want. First of all, if you're not aware, the game Slitterhead comes out on Friday. And originally I was very into it and excited, but now the reviews have come out and they are pretty meh. Meaning most people are saying the game ain't that good. You know, it's kind of an interesting premise to start. All right. But outside of that, here we go. Here we go. Outside of that, I got distracted, sorry. Outside of Slitter, you know, we could do some other stuff too, but it really depends on what happens. I said Slitter, it's Slitterhead. Outside of that game, it's going to depend on a few factors. Like, for example, this PS5 Pro that has been ordered for me from a fan, will it actually arrive on Thursday or Friday or when? I don't know. So I don't think anyone even knows when the PS5 Pro is going to be shipped or arriving, and it depends on where you've ordered it from. So depending on where this viewer has ordered it from for me, right? That's going to determine if and when it shows up. And so I don't know. It might arrive on Thursday, but I won't be home. So maybe then it's going to have to be redelivered on Friday. if I have it early on Friday, maybe that's the most interesting thing to do, is a live unboxing, hooking it up, downloading a ton of the games for it, testing them, and the like. But if I don't have it for the first stream on Friday, then maybe we should do something else. Should I try Slitterhead? Should I continue on with one of these other games, finish Life is Strange, or do some more Call of Duty? You know, I don't know. Right now, this has been the most uncertain, wonky, hardcore gaming season I've ever seen. It's been such a mess. There have not been consistent good new releases that people are liking. Usually you have a bunch of giant blockbuster hits. Nothing like that this year, except maybe Call of Duty and Silent Hill 2. Can you name another? It's just been a pretty dead year for games overall. One of the most disappointing, I feel. So, I'm not even sure what to do this week. Should I try Dragon Age Veilguard? Should I play Slitterhead? I don't know. We're going to have to figure this out together, I guess, on the fly and make these decisions, right? So, there you go. Let's see how it goes. But anyway, so Friday, I'll be here. I just can't tell you exactly what I'm doing because it's going to depend on what happens. I would say if the PS5 Pro arrives, I think that's what everyone's going to want. You're going to want to see me unbox it, hook it up, test games on it, and the like. But outside of that, I'm not sure what else I'm doing Friday. But it will be a full day of streaming, okay? Saturday, I'm going to be off. But then next week, I should be here most of the week. However, in the middle of the week, it looks like one of those days in the middle of the week, I have to have a day stream off. So I'll be here all day Sunday, all day Monday, all day Tuesday, all day Wednesday, all day Thursday of next week, probably even all day Friday. But one day stream, I can't be here. Okay? So just so you know. So I'll let you know as soon as I know how that's going to go down. But there should be a lot of streaming next week. And there will not be a full React day next week because we've already finished Retro React of Silent Hill 1. And it's going to be the final episode of DSP versus the Internet. So after that, we're going to have solid weeks of just gameplay throughout, like, for a whole month. Okay, so that's what's going on schedule-wise. I hope that sounds good to everybody. Let's see here. I received a $2 tip. Someone said, oh, it's Lady Charisma says, I can firsthand confirm nuts are out in full force. I went to vote a few days ago. Someone got in my face trying to scare me into voting for who they support, and then they started calling me a slur because I was wearing a pin on my jacket. Be safe to the folks who are voting today. No, I'm seriously mean it. Like, I don't think it matters which way this election goes. You're going to have nut jobs on both sides acting like insane idiots. Like, they don't understand that it's a democratic process and everyone has a right to you know, express their opinion and their right to vote for who they want. And you have no right to criticize and you have no right to be angry with them. Like, they don't get that. They legit think like it's my way or the highway, and if you're not with me, you're against me, and we're mortal enemies. And if one person wins the election that I don't think should have won, then we gotta, like, fight. And it's like, what? No. That's the opposite of democracy. That's not democracy. That undermines the whole idea, right? So, thank you for the $2 tip, Lady Charisma. Okay. Ah, my nose itches. Okay. Oh, and by the way, I should say this as well. All right. Just because someone is not of the same political beliefs or affiliation as you also doesn't mean that you have to be mortal enemies and can't be friends or can't be acquaintances or just can't get along. Right? I'm absolutely positively sure, 100%, that some of you out there do not agree with me and my political beliefs. And I'm absolutely sure that I don't agree with many of you and your political beliefs. But I don't think that you're my mortal enemy. I don't think that you're out to get me. I don't think that, you know, you want me to be stomped into paste. Nor do I wish that upon you. That's just my belief, you know. It's not my way or the highway. It's not, you know, if you're not with me, you're against me. I don't believe that. I think that everyone has a different belief system, right? I even said, for this election, the way I see it, all right, vote for the candidate that when their party was recently in power, you think things were better for you and your family, right? So Trump had a 4-year presidency. Biden has just had a 4-year presidency. Who do you think your life was better under? Who was doing better things that was making life better for you and your family? Because that they're supposed to be public servants. They're serving the public to make things better for you. That's supposed to be the role of government. So if you felt that one side had it better for you or the other side had it better for you, that's who you should vote for, right? It's not about who do I like more in this popularity contest of two celebrities. It's not, oh, it's a big viral movement of one side versus the other side. It's who's doing better for you and the people around you, right? And vote in that belief. And it's that simple, right? Because in truth, and because Zeizern just said it over on Kick, he says it's all the same shit on both sides. They're just lining their pockets with taxpayer money. Literally no one in power is actually like thinking out for the best interest of the people. It's true. I mean, the track record is there. They 98% of the time do things in their own self-interest. And every once in a while, they stumble upon something that might help someone in like a big lucky fluke. And then we get some nice benefits, right? So, so there you go. I mean, it's true. I really wish that we had a better government and a better track record in that regard. We just don't. You can look at how they vote, how they act. They literally have a system in place where they endlessly keep all their money and stay in power. It's ridiculous. So, for me, it's like, well, you look at who you've been better under, and that's who you guys should be voting for if you're an American citizen. All right? There you go. I don't know how anything works in other countries. I don't know how your processes work. Hard Nose just gifted a sub over on Kick. It's our first contribution on Kick of the day. Thank you so much, Hard Nose. And that counts for a $5. So thanks very much for that. That gets us up to $22 in support. And let's see here. I received a $2 tip. Someone says, now that you play games on PC, I want to let you know about all of the free games you get with your Amazon membership. Amazon Games has an app. They give like 10 free games out a month. And if you link your Amazon account to Twitch, you get a bunch of free games on GOG and Epic Games in the notifications list. Yeah, but is it any of that anything I would want to play? You know what I mean? Like, I get free games all the time. I get stuff under Game Pass, and but I don't redeem it all because I don't want it. Like, unless it's games that I'd be interested in playing, I don't see the point. Right now, we really aren't looking for games. Like, right now, we know what games are the options, right? We got Life is Strange and Call of Duty that I'm focusing on. We've got a maybe for Slitterhead, a maybe for Dragon Age Veilguard. People are asking me to bring back fighting games into the fold, so I'm looking to get either the Marvel Collection or Street Fighter 6 or both back in there in the next week. And then people want chill content back. So I'm thinking, perhaps at some point we can get Stardew Valley back in the rotation. And in addition to that, Flight Simulator's coming up in a couple of weeks, and that's going to be good. So at this point, like, I get it. I know what you're saying, but I'm not really sure that we're looking for, like, oh, we need a list of freebie games to be playing. In addition to all of that, right, with the PS5 Pro, if I actually get it, and the reason I say that is because you never know, right? You never actually know if you're going to get, if you're actually going to get it or not, right? You don't know. But in this case, okay, if I get it, which would be great if I do, probably there's going to be some interesting things on there people might want. Like if you're not aware, PS4 games are going to get a upgrade with resolution and things like that. So perhaps playing an older PS4 game that people like, it's a tried and true game, and bringing it back digitally on PS5 could be something to do too. We'll talk about that in a little bit because we're going to get to the PS5 Pro games list in just a sec. So, okay. I received a $1.11 tip from a troll. So I'm just going to ignore the troll and tell them to kiss my butt cheeks. Very good. Okay. Can you fly over Hawaii? I'm pretty sure you can fly over anywhere in Microsoft Flight Simulator, but for areas that are no fly zones that they can't get aerial view, it's just like there's nothing there or something like that, right? I think that's how it works anyway. I'm not sure. So, okay. So, let's start getting to the topics that I want to discuss today. All right, this first topic will be very interesting. So we are about 25 hours into the show. Wow, this has been the longest marathon podcast I've ever done, clocking in at 25 hours. We are 25 minutes into the show, folks. And what I'd like to talk about is the PS5 Pro. Let's get this out of the way since this is something that we're already talking about. All right. So if I get a PS5 Pro this week, which I may, it's not a lock, but it's a strong chance. Okay. People have been saying to me, well, Phil, what would you do with the PS5 Pro? Well, folks, here's what we can do with the PS5 Pro. Are you ready? Sony has released the updated raw gameplay archive on DSPGaming and then the YouTube stream. No. Sony has released a list of 50 plus games that will be enhanced when the PS5 Pro is released later this week. And basically what it's going to do is enhance these games to run better. Now, to be clear, these are all PlayStation 5 games, okay? There's another feature of the PS5 Pro that we will talk about. But in this case, let's take a look at the list of enhanced PS5 games, shall we? So, Alan Wake 2, and to be honest, Alan Wake 2 performed quite well on the base PS5. Perhaps it'll have enhanced 4K features, right, on the PS5 Pro. Maybe it'll run at 4K 60 frames, perhaps. Not sure. I guess we'll have to see. I have no idea what Albatross is. Apex Legends, obviously a game that's been out there for a very long time. Team-based online shooter. I probably would not be interested in that. Assassin's Creed Mirage, I mean, again, a game I fully played last fall and enjoyed. Doubt I would go back to that. Baldur's Gate 3, a lot of people may be interested in, right? I think because it's a game that a lot of people played and loved and probably are doing multiple playthroughs of. So maybe quite a few people would get a good experience out of playing Baldur's Gate 3 again on their PS5 Pro. Of course, Call of Duty Black Ops 6. What I'm predicting is that Black Ops 6 will now run as good on PS5 Pro as it does on my gaming PC. So you'll be able to play it at full 120 hertz, 120 frames. You know what I mean? It's going to be catching up with the PC. Previously, I bet it didn't run as well, but now it probably will run as good as the gaming PC. EA Sports College Football 25. It's the new college football game that just came out this year. Dead Island 2. Now that's interesting. Dead Island 2. I'm not so sure that that's going to be a game that's so in demand. Now how about Demon's Souls? That's an interesting one. Demon's Souls was a launch title for base PS5. I wonder how much better it would actually run on the PS5 Pro and what actual enhancements have been added to it. Not sure. Diablo 4. Well, I played through the entirety of the game. It was all right. So I wonder how it would run on PS5 Pro. Dragon Age The Veilguard. Well, I mean, it just came out. And so to see improvements to that on there is pretty good. Dragon's Dogma 2 is kind of a big one. And the reason I say that is because Dragon's Dogma 2 ran like utter dog shit on console. Apparently people playing it on PC said it actually ran really well. But on console, it was just choppy. It was supposed to be 30 frames, and it never was. It was always like lagging under 30 frames per second and the like. So maybe the game would finally be a respectable frame rate on PS5 Pro. Not sure. The thing is, if I remember correctly, did I not buy Dragon's Dogma 2 on Xbox? I think I did. I think I was playing it on Xbox Series X. So sadly, I don't think I would be able to test that one. Like, that's when I was like, oh, I might be interested in testing and see how much better it runs. And then I realized, oh shit, I think I have it on Xbox, and I'm definitely not buying it again. So that sucks. Seriously? Monty Mole says, no, it will run sub 60 frames even on PS5 Pro. Are you serious? What the hell did they do? No, really, what did they do with that game that it runs so poorly? Yikes. All right, Dying Light 2 Reloaded Edition. Well, I mean, that game was uninteresting at launch 3 years ago. I can't imagine me playing that. EA Sports FC 25. Enlisted. I don't even know what Enlisted is. F1 24. Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth. Here's the thing. I thought it performed fine on base PS5. What happened is it had what's called a variable resolution. So when you're out of combat, the game would look crisp and nice in cutscenes and the like. But once you hit combat, all of a sudden it would blur up. And that was by design. The lower a resolution in combat, the more they could pull off to keep it a solid frame rate. Although admittedly, it did chop up a bit on console at first. So I wonder if this will now allow it to run like smoother. I've actually heard they're adding brand new performance modes to PS5 Pro exclusively that it can handle. So maybe you'll be able to play it you know, at a higher resolution at 60 frames, and it won't chop up or dip and become blurry or pixelated during combat. Well, you know, I'm very happy that Fortnite is going to be supported because forget it. There's not even a joke there. Like, who the fuck is playing Fortnite besides 5-year-olds? So who the hell's going to want that? I don't know. God of War Ragnarok. That's one that I would definitely like to test for myself because the base game looked great. So can you imagine on the Pro, maybe it looks even better. I mean, Hogwarts Legacy, it was fine. I'm probably not going to play that again. But Horizon Forbidden West, again, is a game that looked really good on base PS5. What I'd like to do is maybe jump on the bird and fly across the whole map and just see what it looks like from the sky. Does it render faster? Does it not have as bad pop-in? You know what I mean? Like, I wonder how it's going to work there. Horizon Zero Dawn Remastered just released, right? So it's kind of silly that they're saying they're enhancing the game for PS5 Pro when it's literally like a launch title for PS5 Pro, right? Kayak VR Mirage, I don't know anything about that. Lies of P is cool, although Lies of P ran beautifully on base PS5. So again, I wonder what the Pro would do for it. Lords of the Fallen 2023. That was a big game for debate last year if I should play it or not. I never did, and literally I missed nothing. No one even mentions the game anymore. Madden 25, I mean, we all know what Madden is. So maybe Marvel Spider-Man 2 could be another one where what I can do is install it, and we could do a test, you know, swinging through the city and seeing how it looks and stuff like that. It probably looks gorgeous, right? I have no idea what Naraka Blade Point is. I don't care about NBA 2K. No Man's Sky, I think we already know what it is, and I'm probably never going back to that at this point. Pal World, for those who are still playing it, you know, I played it on Xbox because it was free. I'm not going to buy it on PlayStation. Paladin's Passage, never heard of it. Planet Coaster 2 is a theme park sim game. Professional Spirits Baseball, 2024-2025. I don't know what that is. Obviously, it's a baseball game. Ratchet and Clank Rift Apart. Well, again, Ratchet and Clank, I played on base PS5, and I thought it looked fine. So I don't know if I would test that again. Maybe we could get both Resident Evil 4 Remake and Resident Evil Village and test those, because that could be neat. I thought the graphics for Village were outstanding as is, but now with the Pro, maybe they'll be even better, right? Rise of the Ronin, I skipped and didn't miss anything. I don't know what the heck Rogue Flight is. Now, here's an interesting one. Star Wars Jedi Survivor. I mean, sadly, I had it again on Xbox, so I can't really test it. But Jedi Survivor was infamous for bad performance on consoles. Like, it was running very poorly. Bugs, glitches, frame rate issues, textures not even loading. I had an invisible character during my playthrough. So I wonder if there's a significant boost to performance on the Pro or not. Star Wars Outlaws, again, when it launched, was an unoptimized game. Even on PC, when I played it, it had major issues. So I wonder if these issues will be fixed or hashed out on PS5 Pro. Stellar Blade. I don't know what that is. I've never heard of it. So I can't comment on it. Test Drive Unlimited Solar Crown. The Callisto Protocol. We know what that is. That was the game from almost 2 years ago now. That was supposed to be the spiritual successor to Dead Space, except that it flopped in sales. The Crew Motorfest, never played it. The Finals, never played it. First Descendant, never played it. Last of Us Part 1 and Part 2. You know, the funny part about that is, take a look at that. The Last of Us Part 1 and The Last of Us Part 2 remastered. So it's basically only the PS5 versions, right? Because if you remember, both those base games were on PS3 or PS4 respectively. So sadly, they won't have like an enhanced mode. But I'm going to talk about something in a moment. Until Dawn is interesting. But I think that's the new one, correct? That's the one that just came out on PS5. So it'll have a PS5 Pro enhancement. War Thunder? I don't know what that is. Warframe, that's the free-to-play MMO. And World of Warships Legends, I believe, is also an MMO, correct? All right, so those are the 50 PlayStation 5 specific games that will have PS5 Pro enhanced versions. However, there's more to the story. They don't say it here. Okay. PS5 Pro will also offer a new mode for existing PlayStation 4 games. This mode is a resolution boost mode. And what it's meant to do is enhance the level of detail for existing games. For example, someone who got an advanced PS5 Pro said they were playing Bloodborne on it, and even though Bloodborne is locked at 30 frames and can never play above 30 frames because of the way the game was designed, they said the resolution looks significantly better. Like the game is crisper and more detail in the environments and actually looks better on PS5 Pro. And so I was thinking we could also pick some games from last gen that were some of the biggest ones that you guys like to see me play. And since I bought almost every game digitally last gen, we could download some of those from my PlayStation library and test those as well. I think Bloodborne would be at the top of the list, right? But I'm sure you guys could come up with a few more games that you might like to see me test on a PS5 Pro. All right? Of course, once again, this is all hinging on the fact that I actually get the PS5 Pro. And the person who has said that they have ordered it for me, I'm waiting for an actual update. Here we go. Actually, they basically said they haven't gotten any solid update from the store yet. It did say that it's shipping on the 7th, but it doesn't say when it ships on the 7th, when it's going to arrive by. If it ships on the 7th, I probably won't get it till the 8th, which actually works. Maybe whenever it arrives on Friday the 8th, we can do the live unboxing and do all this testing. Because I would say right now on this list, we could test Alan Wake 2. We could test Demon's Souls, because I have that digitally. We could test God of War Ragnarok, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Horizon Forbidden West, Lies of P, Marvel Spider-Man 2. If you want, we can test Ratchet and Clank. And the Resident Evils I would definitely like to test. So just right there, there's a significant amount of games that I can download and we can test on the PS5 Pro. And then we can download a bunch of PS4 games and test those with the resolution booster mode. So I think this would be a fun project to do this Friday when I get it. And again, the person just confirmed, yeah, I pre-ordered it for you. I'll let you know when there's more information about it shipping. So good stuff. This Friday is going to be an exciting day, I feel, right? Pretty cool. All right. What's up, Game Boy? How are you today? Welcome to the stream. Okay. I received a $2 tip. So this is the person following up on the free games that we were talking about earlier. So let's see what they have to say. Hold on a second. Actually, I should go full screen, shouldn't I? Hold on. Go full screen. Then we'll get on to our next topic. So there are a lot of really good games on Twitch right now for GOG and Epic. For Tales from the Borderlands, Borderlands the pre-sequel, regular Borderlands 2, Tomb Raider Legend, BioShock Remastered, Doom Eternal, A Plague Tale Innocence, Mafia Definitive Edition, and Guardians of the Galaxy, and a ton more. Well, there you go. Right off the bat, I'm going to tell you, out of all the ones you just mentioned, I'm not interested in playing any of those right now. Maybe in the future, but not right now. I appreciate you telling me about this, especially when moving forward in the future, perhaps we will have downtime and we'll be looking for games and stuff. But for now, I'm pretty good. All right? But thank you for the update and for the information. All right. All right. So, guys, let's go on to our next topic. So, here we go. Perfect. Here we are. This is perfect timing here. All right. So, around 48 minutes. I'm trying to see the timestamp here for a highlight later. Okay. No election style party for my late stream. Like I said, today's a full day of regular gameplay for me. After my day ends, I'm going to jump on the Kino Casino stream for like 20 minutes or so just to hang out with them and talk politics for a bit. And that's it. I'm not doing anything really political in my content today. I'm not a political content creator. As of now. Okay. All right, cool. Ready? Here we go. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't see yesterday's React show, well, you're not the only one. Not a lot of people really watch my React show. I'm just going to be honest, okay? But yesterday on the React show, somebody tipped me $1 and said, are you aware that one of your detractors has scammed your other detractors? To which I responded, well, I'm not aware of this, but I'm not surprised. To understand this situation, okay, we actually have to go back a couple of months, back to the summertime, when I was covering some of the ridiculous things my detractors were doing at the time. So allow me to turn back the clock a couple months here, guys. And back in, I believe this was like late August, okay? one of my detractors made a video called DSPGaming, We're Coming For You Legally. Their name is Super Crazy. It got them over 10,000 views in a day. Okay? So, here's the video I made about it. It was a highlight on my stream. It was like 40-some minutes. Obviously, we're not going to go through the whole thing. I'm just going to summarize this for you guys, okay? Basically, this person, Super Crazy, is literally crazy. They actually were accusing me of some kind of a systematic attempt to, like, ruin their YouTube channel, when in reality, I had never done that at all. Never. Like, what they're accusing me of never happened. They were trying to say that I was trying to get them, like in trouble with YouTube and shit like that. None of that happened, okay? What had happened was at one point, I had erroneously issued a copyright takedown against one of their videos. And then when I realized that it was an error, that it was actually not what people had told me it was, you know, I thought that the video was like a blatant ripping of my content without making it transformative, but I made an error. And so I corrected the error by retracting the claim that was an erroneous claim on their video, and that's that. So because that happened, now keep in mind, this person didn't suffer any consequences or anything as a result of my error at all, okay? They were fine. But they then became obsessed with me and had a strong grudge against me and literally started this insane campaign saying that DSP was trying to end me and my channel, and look at all this. Basically, they just brought up a whole bunch of bullshit, trying to say that I was hitting them with false claims and strikes and things. That never happened. Like, I never did any of that, okay? And there's no evidence I ever did any of that. There never would be any evidence because I didn't do it. All right? It's just nonsense. I mean, I've shown my copyright claims leaderboard on my channel and stuff publicly before. There's no way I did it. It's not, you know, it's not there. All right? So they're just out of their minds, okay? So anyway, this guy made this random video literally out of nowhere that he's saying he's going to sue me. And in the video, after, you know, rambling on for endlessly and just nonsensical content, basically says at the end that they had a publicly funded page on Give, Send, Go. I mean, I've never even heard of this. Give, Send, Go. Okay? And they were raising money. Let's actually watch the segment now. Ready? Here we go. And by the way, my camera is above my camera from before, so I'll move my camera down here. Okay? So now there's two of me. But let's see. Here we go. Give, Send, Go. All right. Help me fight back. He's trying to... So you can't see it. On this website, Give, Send, Go, you can see it above me here. This person, Super Crazy, had raised, at this point, over $2,000. Okay? Over $2,000. What they're showing in that picture there is the one time that I erroneously had issued the copyright strike against them, but not that I had retracted it, which I did. I realized later I'd made the error and I retracted it. Okay? So I talked about this at the time and I said, look at this guy. He's trying to raise money. Let's actually hear exactly what I said. Raise $10,000 for this campaign, folks. He's trying to raise $10K. Help me fight back against false DMCA abusers. There is literally one case of a DMCA claim against the man, and it's been retracted. Okay? This is to help with legal costs in order to fight back against a serial YouTube DMCA abuser. Did you see any evidence of serial YouTube DMCA abuse in his video or in my flag history? Whoa, whoa, whoa. In December 2021 and January 2022, Phil Burnell DSP issued knowingly false copyright and community guideline strikes against my YouTube channel. That's defamation, or that's libel. He put in writing a false statement. No, I did not knowingly issue a false copyright strike. I thought it was legit. I did not ever issue a community guideline strike against you. That's libel. Oops. Sorry about that, bro. You probably shouldn't have put that in there. So basically, this guy in his entire fundraising post is lying. I haven't done any of the stuff that he claims I did. There's no evidence of any of it. It never existed. He's lied, right? And then, again, he further keeps doing more libel and shit down there, okay? So it's all lies. The entire campaign is lies. Now you can see under my camera, I guess I should move my camera again. This guy has raised so much money, over $2,000. Mary Sci-Fi, only 7 minutes ago, pledges $40. Marked one an hour ago, pledged $10. These are a bunch of numbers, pledged 15. Okay? So this guy raised, all in all, if you guys aren't aware, this campaign kept going on and on. And this guy raised about total over $3,000. Now, I went in that video, I outright told everyone about this, and I said, guys, you have to understand something. This guy is a scammer. This is not real. Like, he's putting up an actual campaign for something that's not actually legally actionable. No wrongdoing has happened. He has no evidence it's happened. Even if he filed a frivolous lawsuit, the lawsuit will go towards YouTube, not towards me, because YouTube is the one issuing strikes and shit, not me. YouTube would be the one who would have to show all the information, not me. So literally the entire thing is false. If he had said, I'm raising funds because I'm suing YouTube, because YouTube's system is falsely taking down my content, he would maybe have some legal grounds to do that. But his entire Give, Send, Go was fake because it never was for a proper legal reason at all. It was just him making it up, okay? Now, I warned everyone. At the point that I made that video, there was only $2,000 raised. Morons went back to that and gave the guy more money to the point where he had over $3,000 raised, okay? Well, folks, are you aware of what's happened? So here's what's happened, okay? Basically, he took the money, he let the campaign sit there for a little longer to see if any more money was coming in, and then he just closed it. So the campaign is defunct. You can't find it anymore. It doesn't exist on the internet. And people for weeks, about 6 weeks, the people who actually contributed to this guy's campaign have been trying to contact him, saying, hey, Super Crazy, so we sent you all this money. So what's the status of the lawsuit against DSP? He's gone. He's not responding to anyone. He literally took over $3,000, he pocketed the money, and he ran. And he's not making content, and no one can find the guy. No one knows where he is or where he went. Okay? Now, I mean, I hate to say I told you so, because the thing is with my detractors, they literally think that, like, I'm the worst person on the planet for some bizarre reason. So, they never listen to me. I 100%, 2.5, 3 months ago, outlined for them why this was fake, why this was not legit, how there was no way that this guy was ever going to sue me with the money, that he was scamming people. But no one listened. Literally no one listened to me. Instead, they gave him more money. The thing is, this is a running pattern, all right? If you don't remember, okay, a couple months ago, or about a month and a half ago, this same exact situation happened with a content creator called Cog, okay? Similarly to what happened there with Super Crazy, Cog had made statements about me in his private Discord, and apparently people in his Discord hate him and leaked the messages to me. And basically what Cog said was, ha, DSP is such a grifter. He has to put on glasses and wear a hat and wear a vest to make any money. You know, what a loser and shit like that. And basically says, I'm going to try to copy DSP and I'm going to do his shtick. Ha ha ha. Like basically trying to make fun of me, right? Now the funny part is, Cog's so behind the 8 ball, what he didn't realize is that I had phased all that out. Like I wasn't doing glasses and hats and vest rewards anymore. I had actually phased it out of my content by the time that he was commenting on it. But I mean, that's par for the course for that guy. He pretty much is completely irrelevant to anything on the internet. So his joke didn't even make sense. But the funny part was, when I heard about this, I knew this guy was a nobody, all right? And I knew it didn't matter if he's talking about this junk on my Discord. But I said, I'm going to do a test. Because already I had seen what happened with Super Crazy, okay? So I'm going to do a test. And here was my test. If I bring this guy up out of the blue in my content, right? And I do a segment on him on this show, all right? So this would be interesting, right? Maybe if I bring this guy up, the detractors will take the bait, hook, line, and sinker, right? So I literally did a segment, and it was not a long one or anything. All I did is I read his message, and I said, well, Cog, here's the thing. You should know your betters. I'm bigger than you. I'm more well-known than you. I get more viewers, more money, more attention. People like me. So therefore, if you want to copy me, well, they say imitation is the most sincerest form of flattery, right? If you actually say you're going to do a whole stream where you put on glasses, you wear a hat, you put on a vest for contributions coming in, right? Then go ahead and do it, right? I'm not going to stop you from doing it. Go for it. Learn from your betters and see what happens. So the guy literally does it. Now, of course, his stream is negative towards me. He's making fun of me, right? So he does this on stream. Guess what happens? All of my detractors show up to his stream. All of them. He's got hundreds of viewers for the first time in ages because no one watches his shit. But he's got all these people hanging out with this guy now. Okay? And all of a sudden, they start throwing him money. And he makes hundreds and hundreds of dollars on this stream. Just because he's making fun of Darkside Phil. Okay? So he puts on the glasses, the vest, the hat. He does a big to-do. Like, look at me, I'm successful now, right? Because I did it. And so the next day, I went on and on my show, this very show, and I had one final segment about cock. And I said, folks, I wanted to do an experiment. The experiment was successful. The trolls took the bait. I've now proven, 100% without a shadow of a doubt, as long as you talk shit about Darkside Phil, there is a group of mentally stunted morons who will come to your content, watch it, and send you money. It doesn't even matter if what you're saying is pertinent, true, or even relevant. It could be completely outdated, like Cog making fun of me for putting on these things. I don't even do that anymore. But that's the thing with these people. They don't care. They're actually so mentally brainwashed into thinking that Darkside Phil is the worst person on the internet. That Darkside Phil is the person who should be derided and by any means necessary, right? That they will go to a nobody's content and support. They did the same thing with Ralph. Do you remember when I brought up Ralph briefly? So when I brought up Ethan Ralph, they also went to his content and they were trying to build him up to do a big anti-DSP event. They really wanted this to happen. They wanted to have the anti-DSP event, the Fuck Phil Festival, that Ralph, they were trying to build him up and coach him into doing this festival. If you're wondering what that is, the sun got really bright and it's shining in from the hallway, from the room across the hall, bouncing off the white carpet onto my face. Holy crap. The blinds are broken in that room. You know what? Hold on a second. I'm going to see if I can close them more. Okay. So yeah. So my trolls had even supported Ethan Ralph temporarily, trying to coach him into a Fuck Phil Festival. All right. And Ralph, surprisingly enough, Ethan Ralph bitched out of it, realizing he didn't have a shadow's chance in hell of winning anything against me. Like, I think he realized, oh, fuck, people actually like Phil now. Much like, hey, people like Kino Casino and shit. And if I try to go against Phil, basically I'm going to get destroyed. So he bitched out. Even with my trolls, you know, egging him on and sending him funds and shit, he still bitched out of it. Okay? But anyway, so that's the track record with my trolls. Again, they're so dumb and unhinged that anytime there's an opportunity to just have someone talk shit about Phil, they finance it. I mean, even look at Stuttering Craig and Side Scrollers. All right? So what really happened with the Side Scrollers interview that I did in early 2023? Here's what happened. Stuttering Craig thought he had a gold mine. He thought this was the way to propel the failing Side Scrollers rebooted podcast into prominence. He said, oh, I can get Darkside Phil on there. We're going to do an interview. He's going to reveal the truth about all the years he's lied about playing mobile games on this interview. And once he does that, we'll publicly forgive him for it. And we're going to have the scoop. We're going to be the ones to break this to the internet, and we're going to be known as great interviewers, and this is going to be amazing, correct? What happens is they have me on the interview. I don't give them what they want. So now they're so upset, they turn it into, oh, let's just shit on Phil. And all of a sudden, again, my mentally unhinged, mentally stunted detractors go to their show and start sending them thousands of dollars of contributions for it. So they literally turned the day after my interview, which was supposed to be a decompression session where they were going to play Mario Kart. They turned it into, let's shit on Phil for the entire several hours of our show while we receive donations from his detractors. They then turned it into a series of content. Oh, the horrors of addiction and mobile gaming and shit like that. And then over the course of the year, they kept trying to bring me up. They did, oh, the monetize the Detractors stream. Oh, let's contact Phil and see if he'll play Street Fighter 6 with us. none of it made any sense. But every time that they did it, literally every time that they brought my name up, they made money. My detractors are so dumb. They don't understand that they are the victims. They are the ones being scammed by everyone on the internet, right? Stuttering Craig did it multiple times last year. And then he did it again. When I interviewed Craig at the end of August, right? Or was it early September? Whenever it was. It might have been early September. At the end of that interview, what did he do? He ran to his stream. He turned it on. My detractors showed up and said, say bad things about Phil and send him money. And then he did, and he got made money. They're being scammed, and they don't know it. They're that fucking stupid. Do you honestly think that Stuttering Craig gives two shits about Darkside Phil? He does not. He now makes political content. That's all he does is this right-wing political content. He doesn't care about me. So, but hey, he'll take your money if you send it to him to talk shit because you're morons, right? Do you really think, within a shadow of a doubt here, that Super Crazy actually thought for a moment he had a legal case against me and was actually going to file a lawsuit? Fuck no. He never had that intention whatsoever. He knew 100% that was bullshit. And he was going to pocket that money the entire fucking time. There is no way he thought that he had a legal leg to stand on. No one thought that he did. I mean, you had to be a moron to give that guy money and think that he was going to sue me for... You're dumb. You're so dumb. So I just don't, this is an ongoing thing, but this is just a pattern that you're going to continue to see apparently. Like, apparently dumb people have money and they want to be parted with it. Here's the thing, because people will say, well, Phil, aren't you being hypocritical because you're someone who's on stream and you have contributions? Okay, here's the difference. I've been making content for 16 years. Daily. For free. I don't charge you for the content. It's going to be here on the internet no matter what, correct? I have added value to people's lives with the content that I put out. Whether it's fun gameplay where we all laugh or we enjoy a great game or we rage at a bad game. Whether it's covering news or commentary or whatever I'm saying. You know what I mean? I make meaningful content. If you wish to support the content, by all means, please do. And that means I'm going to make more of that content, right? But it's meaningful stuff. It's not me just sitting here saying, well, fuck that guy, he's a piece of shit. Well, fuck that guy, he's a piece of shit. Well, fuck that guy, he's a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit. He's a piece of shit. Is that what you want? Like, do you really think that's the same? Like, me just doing that, right? I just said, do you think that's the same of the content that I put out all day? What I actually put out is work. You understand? Work. Where you have to actually do, like gameplay and have skill level to progress and beat games. And I have to research topics and give you kind of informed discussion and things on stuff on the podcast. It's very different than just sitting here and saying, that guy's an asshole, that guy's a piece of shit, this guy's a book. I mean, that's essentially, that's what people have wanted me to do with guys like Review Tech and stuff, and I refuse to do it. Right now, people want me to be talking about Review Tech USA on this stream. Why would I do that? What's the point? The dead horse has been beaten to death, correct? So I don't do that. I'm not the lowbrow guy who's literally going to go for the lowest hanging fruit. That's not me. These people are so dumb, though, that they don't understand that they're the ones who are the suckers in the situation. It ain't me. I'm sitting here having fun, making content I love to make. I have an audience that likes it and supports it. We're all good. The suckers are these idiot detractors who want to throw money at people just to talk shit about me, and they get scammed every fucking time. Do you really think Cog cares about Darkside Phil? No. He was hoping that if he brought up my name, that I'd mention him and these dumbasses would give him money. That's exactly what happened. Craig did it. Cog did it. Super Crazy did it. And this won't be the end. Until these people wise the fuck up and stop throwing money at every joker, grifter, nobody, they'll keep doing it. They're just that stupid. So who's the next one to step right up and make a buck from the dumbest people on the planet, my detractor base? Okay. Good segment. All right, let's continue. I received $1 tip and someone says, play Stellar Blade and piss off your detractors. I don't know how playing Stellar Blade would piss off my detractors particularly. I actually don't think playing Stellar Blade would really do much to please anyone, because at this point the game's old and no one really cares about it. And my detractors certainly don't give a shit if I play it or not, right? I don't know. Anyway, thanks for the dollar tip. Okay. Well, it's already 12:35. I did have another thing to talk about today, but I think I'll save it. I think I'll actually save it up for tomorrow's show, simply because we already went and talked about a few topics today that I think are kind of pertinent. So I think maybe we'll save it for tomorrow. It is, I guess you could consider it drama. Basically, a content creator and a group of their friends were commenting on me in a video, and I wanted to watch it and respond to it, but it's already 12:36. So we only have maybe 20 minutes left on the show. I'm like, well, maybe I'll save that for when I have more time. Maybe tomorrow. Okay? All right. So, good stuff so far. We just don't... Nah, guys, we don't have time because I want to get to Call of Duty as well. I don't want to have this podcast run super late, which it will if I do this now. So we'll cover that tomorrow. Okay? Okay. All right. So, guys, here's the deal. We got a little bit of extra time. I've covered the topics that I really wanted to cover today. Please, number one, support the stream. Any contributions that come in right now, I'll shout out and we'll have a good, response. I'll have time to respond to them. But in addition to that, whatever you guys want to talk about, tag me in the chat. And let's see what's on everyone's mind today, shall we? What's up in all your minds? What do you want to talk about this morning? When do I think the next Xbox hardware will launch from Microsoft? I have no idea, Illit. I don't really think that Microsoft has a coherent plan for anything anymore. With their management over there seemingly having absolutely no concept of the gaming landscape and what people want, I just don't foresee many good things coming out of Microsoft anytime soon. I would hope that they would continue. But, I mean, what a flop this console gen, right? There's absolutely no reason for Xbox to be so far behind, besides bad leadership. Their console isn't underpowered compared to PS5, and they have a system in place with Game Pass where they should be selling this thing in droves, but they're not, because the leadership is awful and don't know what the fuck they're doing. So they need new leadership, and I don't think they're going to get it, because for some reason, people like Phil Spencer. I don't get it. I think he's inept at what he does at this point and should be replaced. But I have no idea what's going to happen with Microsoft, or even if they will make another console. It seems like they're going the cloud route, right? Like they're really focusing on cloud gaming and the like. So, I don't know. Okay. 1 second, because my curtains have cracked open here. Testing. Testing. Can you guys hear me? You guys can hear me way over here, right? Makes me nervous. So... I want to do a test of something quickly, an audio test while you guys are on the stream. I want to see if you guys can hear this. Are you ready? Tell me if you can hear this. I'm going to mute it on the stream here. And I'm going to just play it, and you tell me if you can hear this. Here we go. Okay, so that was a test, and as you heard, you didn't hear much of it, but you heard a little of it. I started out at a volume level of 23 on my TV, and I systematically kept increasing it to around 35, and it got loud in here, and that's when you heard it. Because what I'm trying to do is find the perfect volume level for you guys, so that you can hear me when I talk, you can hear a little bit of atmospheric noise around me, but it doesn't blow you out. And if I'm watching a clip or playing a game, because that's going to be the thing, games, I don't want the games to be loud and then it's making echo in my mic. So that's what we're trying to work on right now. So now I know if I play games probably around the 20 to high 20 volume level, it should be fine. It's only if I go 30 or above that you'll probably hear it. Okay, fair enough. Good. That's a good test that I needed to do there. Okay. What is my favorite N64 game? Asks Shannon T92 over on Kick. I'd probably go with one of two. It would either be Mario 64, which is the one that everyone got with the launch of the console, and then probably Star Fox 64, which was an insane improvement to the original. Graphically, it just looked so much better. It played so much better. So I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm not excited. I'm very upset with everyone. I'm just kidding. My mind started to wander a little bit, and I said the wrong word. I didn't want to say I'm excited. But, you know, some people might think I would have said, oh, Zelda, Ocarina of Time. I never owned it. I only rented it. I never owned it. I never really got into it. I didn't really have that many N64 games. I'm trying to think of what I owned. I owned Mario. I owned Doom 64. I owned Star Fox 64. I owned Mario Kart 64. That was also quite good. I owned Killer Instinct Gold. What else did I own? I'm actually having a hard time thinking past those 5 games. Because what happened was I really wanted N64, but then PlayStation also came out. And sadly, PlayStation just had a much better selection, and I thought that the graphics were better on PlayStation 1. So after a while, like, I only got a few games on N64, and then I started getting PlayStation games, and I never went back. I just kept playing PlayStation nonstop, and I basically didn't play my N64 at all. It just collected dust. So, yeah. Have I ever been interested in hockey or other team sports? From time to time. When I was younger, I had some friends who played in a hockey team, so I watched some of their games. And I've watched American football. That's probably, if I was to watch a sport, it would probably be American football. I watched that from time to time in the 2000s. I followed it for a few seasons and got into like Super Bowl parties and stuff with my friends. But it's been a very long time since I've been interested in any kind of sports. Okay, let's see here. 672 did a super chat. Which of your silly mods timed me out? I have no idea. I wasn't looking to see what mod specifically timed you out, 672. I'm sorry. Okay. Let's see here. What's my thoughts on the growing handheld gaming PC community, such as the Steam Deck or ROG Ally? I was a skeptic at first, but the Ally X has changed my opinion on the space. Performance is way better than anticipated and can comfortably run modern titles at 60 to 100 frames per second. I guess my question is this: what exactly is the purpose of those? Because I don't have them. Before I had a high-end gaming PC, people suggested maybe I get one because they said you could run games at like mid to low settings. But now that I have a gaming PC, I'm like, what would I use it for? Is it supposed to be like the alternative, like a handheld now? Because there really is no serious handheld. You know, Nintendo would be the only handheld at this point. Is that what it's supposed to be? I don't really understand the versatility or the use of it right now. So I can't really comment on it because I've never had any experience with one. Nor do I know how, like, if I had one right now, what would I even use it for? If I had a Steam Deck or a ROG Ally, like, what would I do with it? Right? Let's see here. Can we ever get back to Fallout London? Maybe. I'm interested in it. You know, we only played it for like an hour. And what we played, I liked. But at the time, I just finished my Fallout 4 playthrough, so everyone was very burnt out on Fallout. Perhaps we can go back to it when people aren't so burnt out, right? I'd be down for that. No, I don't know what kind of Japanese food I'll be getting on Friday yet. Congrats on your 8-year anniversary there, Phaser to Stun. I'm glad to hear that you and your wife are doing well. What's my favorite zombies map out of all of them from Black Ops? Oh, I can't remember all of them at the top of my head. For me, when I played those zombies maps, I would play them once each at most. Remember, I would do like one major stream, 3 hours on a map and try to do the Easter eggs, but I was never one to go back and replay them a zillion times or memorize their names or whatever. You know what I mean? A few stand out. Like, I remember there was one that was underground. Like, underground, looked like a western town. Like an old saloon town, but it had been sucked underground into like a mine. And so there was like mine shafts and stuff going through it. Like, I remember that. Everyone remembers Transit, the one where you're on the bus and you're driving from location to location, right? And everyone also remembers that one that it was weird because it had like monsters rather than zombies. And it had like Cthulhu magic and shit. I forget how many Black Ops that was ago. So everyone kind of remembers those, but I don't even remember the names of them or anything like that. I was never like hyper into them. So, Monster Hunter Wilds, what are my thoughts about the beta? I don't know. I didn't play it. I didn't have time. Again, I wanted to do it, but it was only for 3 days. One of those days I was off, and the other days I was in the middle of other important stuff. I never got to it. So I can't really actually comment on it because I need to get to play it. I mean, I would be interested if they do another open beta. I would hope that they would do it more than just a couple days, and I would like to try it, but I didn't even get a chance to try it. So, I received a $5 tip. This will be our biggest tip of the day. Oh, look at this. Just listen to this from SOF916. They have an interesting idea. So hold on a second here. If my page would load, I would play you a nice animation. Well, it played. Okay. So, SOF916 with our biggest tip of the day, $5. Let's get him on the leaderboard here, or her. I don't know. We're up to $34 in contributions. Guys, let's get that going. We're not even a third of the way to our goal. Let's get some contributions flowing here on the stream today, so that way we don't have to be harping on it during the gameplay when we jump into Call of Duty. All right? Let's get some more stuff going. Maybe some subs. Maybe consider a membership. Maybe a tip. Anything, okay? All right, so SOF916 says the following. Since your detractors are fools, have you thought about monetizing them with a detractor stream on the React channel? Allow text-to-speech, super chats, etc., basically host your own F-Phil Festival monthly stream where you bait them and watch their garbage YouTube videos and make fun of them. Well, first off, I can never do text-to-speech. You understand that. Text-to-speech would basically be so massively abused, they would 100% find ways to say things that would be very, very cancelable. Let's put it that way. They'd try to say, you know, racial things, sexual things, things that you can't say, and then I get in trouble. So I could never do text-to-speech. You know they would find ways around. I know there's filters and stuff you could do, but you know these idiots would probably find 700 other ways to say things and do things, and it would just, the thing is, money versus potential to be able to continue to work. Yeah, I might get a big payday and make like $1,000 in one stream if I enable text-to-speech, but then if I get banned from fucking YouTube, what was the fucking point of that? Correct? So I just don't see the point of it at all. I think that's really stupid. Have I ever thought about like a make fun of Detractors festival? Sure. That could be something we do one day. Maybe we do a React day where the entire day is we just go to each Detractor channel and watch and laugh at videos. Or maybe people submit the stupidest Detractor videos for us to watch and make fun of together. Maybe that's a good idea. You know, since we're no longer doing a clip show, right? The clip show is going to be retired next week. Maybe one of the long form React ideas we can do is Detractor Destruction Day. Triple D. Detractor Destruction Day. Where people will submit their favorite stupid Detractor clips for me to watch, and then I watch them and react to them and completely destroy these idiots, right? That could be fun. Something different to do. But sadly, the text-to-speech justice it's too much of a liability. It ain't possible, right? I wish we could do the same things other YouTubers do, but you know that these idiots would find workarounds for everything to try to screw me over, and that's too much of a risk. Okay? Okay. All right. Oh, let's see here. Jasper for president, says Artemis. Cool. A kitty as president? That could work. Was I ever employee of the month? I don't know if I ever worked at anywhere that had employee of the month. Honestly. I don't really remember there ever being an employee of the month at anywhere that I ever worked. So, I don't think so. I received an $11 tip this morning, and this is from Dankside Venus. Wow. Thank you, Dankside Venus. Get you a nice animation here. Biggest tip of the day, by the way, so let's get that up on the leaderboard. Why can't I type this? There we go. I missed it like 3 times. We're now up to $45 in contributions, guys. We're 5 away from hitting a third of the way to our goal. Let's do it. Let's hit this goal as soon as possible. To lock it in and continue the support. Let me tell you, why do you think complete moronic detractors are so angry right now And they're grasping so much at straws and things to try to say, here's something about Phil, here's something about Phil, and none of it is of any relevance or pertinence to anyone with a brain, so no one cares besides them. It's hilarious to see them squirm right now. Like, see what I mean? Like, they're actually acting so stupid. This could be perfect if we were to do a day of Detractor destruction. It would be perfect to make, so some of the stuff they're doing right now is so funny to observe and talk about, so. Did I get a PS1 console on release day? I did not. No. I did get a PS1 console at some point, but it was definitely not on release day. Back then, you know, I didn't get anything on release day. For me, if I was going to get a big thing like that, it would either be a present for like my birthday or for Christmas or something like that, or if there was an extenuating circumstance. Like, I wasn't supposed to get the N64. I was supposed to wait for a holiday to get it, but I just happened to know that my mom had bought it for me because she accidentally opened the car trunk when I was with her, like after school one day, and the N64 was in there, sitting in there. And then knowing that she had it, then she was nice and she gave it to me early. She didn't have to, but that was very nice of her to give me the N64 early. But everything else, I had to basically earn it through some kind of good actions or something like that, right? Is there anything we can do to YouTube Detractor live streams that basically restream your stream? Isn't that against YouTube guidelines? You know, I don't know. Honestly, I'm not sure. Here's the thing. From what I'm to understand, all right, the law states that as long as you are creating a transformative work, all right, then it's fine. But the problem is what constitutes a transformative work, and also, what is the limitation of you being able to rebroadcast someone where it feels like you have broadcast so much that you don't have to watch the original work? I'll give you an example here. With the June the King documentary about me, right? I urged people to go and watch his documentary first. It released in the morning, and I purposefully didn't even start reacting to my own documentary until that night, giving people more than enough time to watch his video first. Then I split up my react into 4 to 5 days so that, again, you could go watch the original first, and then you would see my reaction later on. Do you see? With the Review Tech USA documentary, again, I purposefully scheduled my react so there was enough ample time so that people could go watch the original first before we did the co-op react. What the Detractors are doing is literally live rebroadcasting the same work, which would be essentially the same as if there was a live television broadcast of a TV show right now, and they were live rebroadcasting it, but just talking over it. That's illegal. You can't do that. Right now, you couldn't turn on TV, okay, and broadcast a football game or a live drama show or even a news broadcast and comment over it. It's not allowed. They consider that copyright infringement. You would get shut down. So why is it that they allow it for a YouTube channel, but not for actual big network stations? Because a YouTuber isn't a giant corporation who has a bunch of lawyers who can sue. It's pretty much that simple, okay? You, for example, what we've been doing, when I do this react stuff, if you're stopping and you're reacting, you're cutting it up, you're making it your own original work, and you're not basically making it you're not making it a replacement for the original work, that's allowed. But if you are regurgitating the original to the point where now people will watch your version instead of the original and the original gets hurt, that's an issue. And actually, if you haven't noticed, that's what's happened recently. Remember that we just watched this on the My React show a few weeks ago, that there's a YouTuber who does video essays. They did a big video essay about why fast food costs more. Asmongold watched it in its entirety. And everyone went and watched Asmongold react, and he got over 1 million views. The original creator only got a couple 100,000 views. And he's like, dude, you killed me. Because my video had momentum, but as soon as you reacted to it in its entirety, everyone goes and watches your react and not my original, so now I can't make money on the video. So you screwed me out of money. Now, since then, they talked and made up, basically. But, yeah, it's a whole big issue right now. In reality, okay, it's not allowed. It's just not. You're not supposed to be rebroadcasting and re-reacting to something in its entirety. You're not supposed to do that. You're only supposed to be doing select parts or breaking it up to the point where it's completely different from the original work, so people would still want to watch the original but then want to watch your react as well. The live rebroadcasting doesn't really give a format for that, so technically live rebroadcasting something without legal permission is illegal. but who can go to court for it, right? The problem is YouTube doesn't have a system to stop it. YouTube just says, unless you're a big corporation who has a lawyer team is going to throw around lawsuits, we're not going to get involved. So unless someone out there who's rich does that, there's nothing to stop anyone from live rebroadcasting anybody else. It's pathetic, but that's just how it is. It's a broken system, you know? I have no problem with someone making a transformative work out of my content or my stream, even in a negative light. Go for it. But to live rebroadcast and make that an alternative place to watch it before I've had a chance to even broadcast it myself, that's illegal. It is. Anyone who right now who's live broadcasting this and takes a clip and posts it up before I can make a clip, you've broken the law. But I'm not rich. I can't sue you. You know, so what can you do? Gamer Stevie, thank you for the membership. I believe that is a fresh one. It is. So thank you, Gamer Stevie, for the membership this morning. That counts as about $3, so we're up to $48 in support, everybody. Thank you. Okay. Did I like recording stuff a lot before I became a YouTuber? No. No, I rarely did. I really started recording things actively when I said, hey, I'm going to start making a YouTube channel and start throwing stuff up there and see if people would watch it. That's it. I went to numerous tournaments, Street Fighter tournaments in the late 90s all the way through the 2000s. I never recorded a darn thing. The first thing I ever recorded was a tournament in 2007. That was the Midwest Championships. And I recorded, I think it was the Random Games tournament and a few like matches of Super Turbo and stuff like that. That's what I recorded. That was my first ever footage in 2007, and that was for the distinct reason that I said, hey, I'll just toss it on the internet and see what people think, right? That was it. I never recorded. I mean, I could have recorded all that tournament footage. I never did, you know? All right, Gamer Stevie, see you later. Thanks for the support. Okay. All right, guys. So, anything else you want to talk about before we adjourn? Because we're at the end of the show. I just realized what time it was. It's almost 1 p.m., so we got to start with Call of Duty momentarily here. But any last-minute topics or concerns, any last-minute contributions for me to shout out before we adjourn and we head into Call of Duty? Now would be the time, everybody. And then we jump into Call of Duty and the Goblin Assault Rifle and whatever. I don't know what the daily challenges are today. We got to check it out and see what they are and go from there. Excuse me. Am I predicting winners of local elections? Corey Feldmania, I live in Washington State. For those who don't know this, because maybe you don't, Washington State is like the top 3 left-leaning liberal states in the United States of America. Literally every single election out here always is for the Democrats. Without question. There may be one freak outlier where a Republican wins like a local seat somewhere, but for the most part, it is always Democrat across the board without any change, and there's not much you can do about it. I'm just in one of those big areas. Even if I wanted to vote against that, my vote wouldn't even matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just how it is. I'm in a state where it's just not a state that has much or any impact. Everyone knows this state always votes for Democrats. So it is what it is. The states that are the key states in the election are called swing states. These are the states that go back and forth between the two major parties, so you never know how they're going to vote, and those are usually the big determining factor in a huge election. So there you go. That would be the impact. If I lived in a swing state, then man, that would be interesting and fun. I was actually talking to a friend of mine last night, and they were saying they live in a swing state, and he's like, dude, I can't wait to vote tomorrow, but it's going to be so chaotic because everyone in my state is so hype about voting because we realized that we could actually majorly influence the presidential election in the U.S. And I was like, yeah, I'm the opposite. Like, literally, no one voting in this state doesn't matter. It's always going to be Democrat. It does never changes. It's kind of boring here, you know? All right. Did daylight saving time affect the streaming schedule? I mean, did it? I don't know. Maybe it did. Maybe it didn't. I'm not sure. I think we have around the same amount of people watching from normal, I would say. I think we'll get more hype. We'll definitely have more hype when more interesting stuff's going down. On starting a new game, when I have the PS5 Pro, right? Like when all that stuff happens, then here you go. Some, more exciting amounts of people will show up. But for now, we're just kind of the norm, which is around 200-300 on YouTube, usually around like between 25 to 50 on Kick. We always have around that. I've seen some episodes of Columbo, and yeah, it's a pretty good show. I like the actor. I forgot his name, but he's a really good actor. Okay, folks, let's end the show. I hope you enjoyed today, the various topics that we covered. Like I said, I actually will save a topic for tomorrow that I wanted to talk about today. I think it'll be a good topic for tomorrow's show. But you've been a great audience. Thanks to those who supported early. I very much appreciate that. Tomorrow will be interesting, because tomorrow we'll probably be talking about what happened in this American election, right? And we'll be talking about how games went today, and maybe an update on my PS5 Pro, and more. It'll be a fun one. So, Peter Falk, that's who Columbo was. Thank you, Peter Falk. Yes, rest in peace. Great actor. All right, everyone, thank you so very much for watching the Level 1 podcast. I will see you all tomorrow. Peace out.